Hello everyone. So our topic for today is organizing. So what organizing basically is? If we understand this in very easy language, then organizing is nothing but simply assigning people their jobs and providing them the necessary resources for doing that particular job. Organizing refers to the process of identification, classification, and coordination of the work to be performed by establishing reporting relationships between the people. Means after the work has been allotted, after they have been provided their work with the resources, necessary resources, they will be provided the responsibility as well as the authority so that they can complete that work very efficiently and they collectively they all can accomplish the organizational goals. Hence, organizing is responsible for implementation of plans into action, means implementing or executing the plans whatever we have thought, and it decides by whom, how, and where a particular task will be performed. Who means the person who will be doing the job or who will be performing the task. How means the resources, whatever resources that particular person will require for doing the job, and where means where the task will take place. We refer to the place. Next, we come to the nature or characteristics of organizing. So first is division of work. So let us understand this with a very easy example. Suppose I am being allotted a task of organizing a cultural fest or a college fest. So there would be many activities that will come under the organizing of that particular fest. First would be what would be the activities, what would be the resources, who would be the person who will be performing that job, or those who will be assisting me. So I could start with, firstly I would start with invitation. So how I will be inviting people. It could be a invitation video, or it could be a flyer, or it could be a poster, right? So invitation work will be done likewise, and then there would be catering, who will manage the catering, will see after the decoration, and there would be many works, right? And who will be seeing after the seating arrangement, whether everyone has been seated or not. So first point is division of work, means dividing work as per the capabilities of individuals and assigning them that work only that they can do it to their best. So division of work is the basis of an organization. In other words, there can be no organization without division of work. Means a person single-handedly cannot do all the work. Suppose I'm the owner of an organization and I want to run it alone or single-handedly, then it is not possible, right? We obviously need someone, we need a team with us who can perform all the tasks, and we will be allocating superiors, managers who will look after the several activities that will take place in that organization. Under division of work, the entire work business is divided into many departments. Many department means there would be many departments. For example, there would be HR department, there would be production department, there would be finance, and there would be marketing department. Every department will have their own objective, plus collectively their objective will lead to the organizational objective. For example, the production department will see after that whatever they are manufacturing should be done in a way that it takes the minimum cost for the manufacturing. And if we talk about the HR department, so HR department will think like whether if a person is incompetent or if a person requires training or lag behind in a particular area, then we will provide that particular person a training so that he can become expert in his or her field. Then comes to the marketing department. What will be the work of the marketing department? Marketing will look after how we can, how we can advertise our product so that the demand for our product increases, right? Then we have the finance department. Finance department will look after all the departments, whatever they are performing. The work is done only through the capital. And who looks after the capital is the finance department. Finance department will look after whether the capital is being utilized properly or not. Next, nature of organizing is coordination. Under organizing, different persons are assigned to different work, but the aim of all these persons happens to be the same. Means, as I've told, there would be many other departments, and every department will collectively work for that ultimate goal of that organization for which they are being assigned in the organization. The attainment of the objective of the enterprise means every department will lead to that particular goal. The work of one person starts where the work of another person ends. The non-completion of the work of one person affects the work of everyone. See, there should be coordination among all the departments, and everyone should know to whom they have to report. If they are in problem, if they find any problem between the process or in their manufacturing or in whatever process, they should know to whom they have to report so as to ensure the smooth completion of the work. Next is plurality of persons. See, a single person single-handedly cannot accomplish all the tasks. A single person cannot do every work. See, a plurality of persons should be there. A team is required. See, organization is a group of many people who assemble to fulfill a common purpose. Means there will be many persons who collectively will work for the common goal of the organization. A single individual cannot create an organization. Next is common objectives. There are various parts of an organization with different functions. Here this means the departments only. Different departments with different objectives, but collectively they all lead to the common objective of the organization. Organization is a structure of relationships. There are many persons in an organization and everyone should know to whom they have to report. Relationships between persons working on different posts in the organization is decided, means it is pre-decided. There is a hierarchy in every organization which everyone has to follow: top management, middle management, and the lower management. Lower management will report to whom? To obviously to the middle one, and middle management will report to the top management. The hierarchy should be there and everyone has to ensure that it is being followed. The person working on the top level post has no superior. Obviously, the one on the top, I'm the owner, I have no one to whom I will be reporting. And the person working at the lowest has no subordinate. Means, suppose I'm at the top, then I am answerable to no one. And a person who is at the lowest, right? So he doesn't have anyone more lowest to him. Next is organization is a universal process. Organization is needed both in business as well as in non-business organization. If things are being not organized properly, aim cannot be achieved. Only like this, organization will be needed where two or more people work jointly. Therefore, organization has the quality of universality. If I'm planning for anything, firstly, I will be organizing things. Suppose I want to go on a trip, then also I will be organizing all the things. Going on a trip means there would be many things that I have to decide priorly, right? How much amount will be required, where I will be going, what would be the, through what vehicle I would be going. I have to decide everything. Means organizing is necessary. Next, organization is a dynamic process. Organization is related to people and knowledge and experience of the people undergoes a change. See, everything is uncertain and so the external environment is uncertain. So the next point is common objectives. See, all the departments will work together, but they all will be having a common objective for which they all would be working. Next point, organization is a structure of relationships. See, as there are many people in an organization, so they should know to whom they have to report. There's always a hierarchy which everyone has to follow in any organization. Firstly, there would be a top level and then the middle level and then the lower. Lower one will report to whom? Obviously to the middle level, and middle level will always report to the top level for any queries, for any problem, whatever they are facing in the process or whatever they are facing in the accomplishment of their objectives. The person working on the top post has no superior. Obviously, if I am the owner, I am answerable to no one. I will decide whatever is right, whatever is wrong. And the person working on the lowest, lower, has no subordinate. The one who is at the lowest, he doesn't have any subordinate to him, and the person who is at the top doesn't have anyone to whom he or she is answerable. Next point, organization is a universal process. See, whatever we are deciding in our life, suppose even if I'm planning a trip, I want to go on a solo trip, then also I will have to organize many things. I will have to decide where I will go, what would be the medium through which I would be going, I would be going with whom, how much amount I will be requiring, I would require for that trip. So there is always organization in any work. Without organization, work cannot be done in an efficient manner. Not only this, organization will be needed where two or more than two people work jointly. Therefore, organization has the quality of universality, means it is applicable everywhere. In everything, organization should always be there. We have to, firstly, we should organize things and then we should implement those things. And the last point is organization is a dynamic process. See, we should always be able to implement any change whenever it is required. External environment is always uncertain. For example, demand can change, people preference can change, their taste can change. So we should be able to implement the changes whenever it is required by the external factors of the organization. The impact of this change affects the various functions of organization. Obviously, one change will lead to change in whole process or the complete manufacturing process of the organization. Thus, organization is not a process that can be decided for all times to come, but it undergoes changes according to the needs. As per the needs, as per the environment, changes will come and we should be able to implement those changes. This example in this case would be creation or abolition of a new post according to the need. So the next topic is principles of organizations or requisites of an ideal and sound organization. First principle is principle of unity of objectives. All activities in an organization should aim at achieving common goals. Means everyone should work for that common. All departmental goals must be clearly defined and should aim at achieving the overall goals of the organization. Also, effort should be made to synchronize the individual goals and the organizational goals. Means every department having their own goal, they should synchronize to the common goal of the organization. Next is principle of specialization. Sound and effective organization rest on specialization. First function that we do in organizing is division of work. Whenever we will divide the work, we should see that what work we are dividing to whom or what work we are allocating to. Each task should be allocated as per the specialty, or we should say as per the specialization of everyone. And a single person doing that particular task on a repeated basis, people obviously become expertise in that particular job. When an employee takes a special type of knowledge and skill in any area, it is known as specialization. By dividing the work into small tasks, each employee is required to perform a task repeatedly. Means work has been divided, now each employee is required to do that task repeatedly, and doing that task repeatedly will make him specialize in that particular area. In this way, he has become an expert in his area and benefits the organization by specializing in it. Next is principle of coordination. Coordination among all the members of every department should be there. Without coordination, work cannot be done efficiently or the objectives cannot be achieved. Coordination is obtained by group efforts and clearly defining roles and emphasizes on unity of action. Next is principle of parity of authority and responsibility. See, responsibility is different and authority is different. Responsibility is simply giving responsibility to someone regarding anything. Authority is giving them powers also. Along with that responsibility, providing them with powers. For example, I am into manufacturing department, right? And I'm working and there is no stock left. So, I have no power to go to the storeroom and bring some resources, right? Or bring something, whatever is being finished, right? So, if I don't have that authority, how will I accomplish my task? So, along with the responsibility, authority should also be given. Because I would sit idle, having no resources with me. What would it lead to? It would obviously lead to the disturbance in the whole manufacturing process, and hence the objectives cannot be achieved effectively. The next principle is principle of delegation. The word delegation means transferring of the authority. So the principle of delegation says the process of transferring authority and creation of responsibility between superior and subordinates to accomplish a certain task is called delegation of authority. Let us understand this with an example. Suppose my superior has assigned me a task and now I have delegated it to my team, to my teammate. So my teammate, the one who is performing that task, will never be answerable for that. Only I would be answerable. Just in case some error occurs in the manufacturing process or in whatever task I have delegated to my subordinate, just in that case of error, I would be answerable to my superior and not their subordinate, because I have just delegated the authority and not the responsibility. Responsibility always holds to that particular person to whom the task was allotted. A superior can delegate authority but not the responsibility. Responsibility is absolute. The ultimate responsibility vests with him only. He would be answerable to his superiors for non-performance of work by his subordinates. Subordinate will never go and answer regarding that error. Also, the principle of parity of authority and responsibility should not be disobeyed in delegation as well. Next principle is scalar principle. What does the word scalar means? Scalar reminds us of the word scalar chain, and here we refer to the scalar chain only. Scalar principle means there should be a hierarchy which everyone will follow, means everyone in the organization should know to whom they have to report. Under this principle, all the people working in the organization should be bound with one another from top to bottom in a vertical chain. Means a chain of command will be there which everyone will be following. For example, at the top there is always the board of director who gives the orders or who instructs his team. Board of director will be instructing to general managers, and then general managers will be giving orders to the departmental managers, and departmental manager will be giving orders to superiors, and then to foremen, and then to workers. Means this is the chain which everyone will be following, starting from the board of directors to the workers for the smooth completion of the work. Next is principle of unity of command. Unity of command means we should be getting command from a single person. For example, if there are two board of directors, then it will always lead to a haphazard manner, right? We should be receiving command from one person, because two persons giving command will always be different in opinions, right? Two person can never have the same opinions. They will be giving or they will be instructing us in a different manners, and the person performing the task will always be confused to whom he or she should listen, in what way he or she should do his task. So the order should come from one person only. Subordinate should receive orders from single superior at a time, means single time single superior should give the orders so as the efficiently the objectives can be achieved. All the subordinates should be accountable to that superior only. More superior leads to more confusion, delay and shirking of the work. More superiors will give more directions, which will lead to more confusion, and confusion will obviously lead to the non-completion of the task. Next principle is principle of span of control. Span of control refers to the number of employees under which the direct supervision of the superior. Larger span of control is more difficult to supervise and coordinate. Span of control means under single manager how many subordinates will be working. That is the span of control or the span of management. So there should be limited number under, means there should be a limited number of employees under one manager. Or employees under one manager, he might not be able to deal with everyone. However, it depends upon a large number of factors like the ability of the superiors and nature of his work. Span of control determines the number of the levels in the organization. Span of control simply refers to the managers, right? More managers, more levels. So there should be limited managers and the limited number of employees working under one manager. Next is principle of flexibility. Flexibility means we should always be able to implement the changes, whatever is required in the environment. There are many external factors which can occur in the manufacturing process, in the process of the organization. It could be change in the taste and preference of the consumers, or it could be many things, change in demand, right? So we should always be able to incorporate those changes so as to complete our task. Organizational structure must be flexible considering the environmental dynamism. Sometimes change may need to be incorporated in the organizational structure due to change in the environmental factors. So the manager should always be in a position that he can easily bring those changes, he can easily incorporate those changes in the process of the organization without the disturbance in the whole process. Last is the principle of simplicity. This principle emphasizes the simplicity of organizational structure. The structure of organization should be simple with minimum number of levels. It simply means the rules and regulations should be very simple of the organization. Everyone should know to whom they have to report, and there should be limited levels, because more level will always lead to more confusion. So, and always will lead to the delay in the decision making. Final more levels will always means everyone has to go to their superiors for the final approval, and which might lead to the delay in the work and delay in the implementation of the changes whenever it is required. Also, simple structure is cost effective and easy to understand. Now, the next topic is process of organizing. Now, we will study what are the steps which we have to follow under the organizing. Step 1 is identification and division of work. Then comes second step, which is departmentalization. Then we head to the third step, which is assignment of duties. And the last step is establishing a reporting relationship. Starting from the first step, which is identification and division of work. Here we start, every organization has certain aims, certain objectives for what they have been laid down, right? So, working for that objective is very essential so as to accomplish the aims. First is planning and then the organizing. Planning means whatever was the objective. Now, accomplishment of that objective will lead to the different activities. See, the first point in the process of organizing is identification and division of work. See, there is always a common objective for which the organization is working. So, and for accomplishing that objective, there are always certain activities which needed to be performed. So, identifying and dividing the work means identifying the activities that will take place for the accomplishment of the objectives, and then dividing those activities. This is the first step. Function of organizing starts with the identification of the total work, means total work, how many activities will be there in the total work, which is to be done to achieve the organizational goal. Work is divided systematically so that each person gets a separate task to perform. This needs to avoid unnecessary duplication and wastage of efforts and facilitates the specialization of efforts and skills. Here, dividing the work will lead to there will be no duplication of work, single task will never be allocated to more than one person, and none of the employee will be overburdened. The burden of all the employees will be shared among different employees. Second step is departmentalization. After the division of work, the activities of the similar nature will be grouped under different departments. There would be departments, say production, marketing, HR, finance, and the activities which are needed to be performed for the accomplishment of the objective will go under different departments, and the similar activities will be grouped together. This process of grouping similar and related activities into groups of large independent units of department is known as departmentalization. Means the process of grouping the activities of the similar nature under different groups or under different departments, the whole process is known as the departmentalization. The grouping may be done on the basis of function, products, customer, etc. As per the organization, every department will group under as per the different needs. Now, the third step is assignment of duties. Now, the work which was divided or the activities which was formed under different departments, now they will be allocated or they will be assigned to different employees, and the assignment of duties will be done as per the specialization of people or the employees. For example, if I have good managerial skills, then I would definitely going into HR department. If I am good into finance, then I would be going into finance department. If I have good marketing skills, then I would be going into marketing. So, after the division, after the departmentalization, the work would be assigned to different employees as per their abilities and their capabilities, their experiences, their skills. After grouping various activities into departments, the next step is necessary to allocate the work of different employees. Duty should be assigned based on the knowledge, qualification, experiences, and capabilities of the individual. There should be a proper match between job requirement and the capabilities of the employees, which means if I am good into HR, then I should go into HR department and not into the marketing one. The ones those who are good in whatever skills or in whatever skills they are lagging behind, they should be trained for that, and then only they should be provided some work which they will be performing. So the last step is the establishing reporting relationships. After every work has been done, now comes the reporting relationship. Means there would be the hierarchy which everyone will be following. Now they are being told to whom they are answerable. They have been provided responsibility and now they will be told to whom they would be answerable or to whom they would report in any case. Occurs in error, to whom will they be reporting? After assigning duty, the next step is to clearly define the authority and the responsibility of the employees. For example, if under production there are more than 10 employees, so all of them will not be responsible for any error. In case of any error, the one who would be responsible means there should always be single person who is being provided the authority and the responsibility. Authority can be delegated but not the responsibility. So the single person who would be responsible should be decided in advance.